Hello everybody and welcome to Level 5. I am your host Level 5. Today we are talking about Power Rangers, more so the comic book. Welcome to Level 5. I talk about movies, TV shows, video games and comic books. It'd help if I could do my intro properly. So I want to talk about Andros, the Red in Space Power Ranger. Now, what do we know about Andros based off the TV show? Well, we know a few things. First off, he lost his sister, and the entirety of Power Rangers in Space, he's trying to find Karone. Now we also know that he has a Silver Ranger called Zane, who gets put in some form of cryosleep because he endured some injuries. Well, we already know he's a Power Ranger by the time we meet him. He's already the Red in Space Ranger. And not only that, but, he already has the other morphers for the other guy, the humans, that make the in-space team. But we also know that there's a team beforehand. And in this video, I kind of want to dive in and kind of just basically explain who they are. But that's kind of hard because we're not really shown a lot. So, if you read the Power Rangers Unlimited one-shot known as Countdown to Ruin, you'll learn everything that I'm about to talk about. Of course, there's more to this comic book, so please check it out when you can. I'm precisely and specifically talking about Andros' original Ranger team. But this is the problem that we have. They're not really in the comic book. They're only really on panels for a short period of time, and you can only really see them as Rangers very, very briefly. When I say very, very briefly, I mean really briefly. So I'm just going to run over what we do know. So first off, there's Andros and Zane's adoptive parents, that being Marvi and Daza. So Marvi and Daza originally were the blue and pink in Space Rangers, and they're a lesbian couple. Hence why I think they adopted, but who knows. Now, when we first meet these Rangers, they actually save Andros and Zane just after Karone gets kidnapped. Their village was attacked, so the in-space Rangers are the ones who saved them, and they adopted all these kids. So, that's Marvi and Daza, the original blue and pink in-space Rangers. We also know that Daza has some form of healing capabilities. We don't know if that's magic or technology or whatnot. It's just an off comment from Marvi that Daza can help with injuries. So once Andros and Zane go through their training, they come back and they end up forming a new team of Rangers. Marvi and Daza kind of retiring their morphers and becoming more like mentors to the team. Now, like I said, we barely get any information on these other Rangers. The comic book itself focuses on Andros and trying to find Karone, while struggling with the fact that Zane decides to be a Power Ranger. Andros originally didn't want to be one, he wanted to find Karone, and he felt bad for when he did take the morpher. That's basically what the comic book kind of represents, is Andros' struggle and all that stuff. So the original team don't really get mentioned. I would love to see a comic book where we actually get to explore these characters, because they're all named, and we also have some interesting takes on which colour goes to who. So let's dive in with each character and what we do know. And I'm just going to pull up my phone just so I make sure I get everyone's colours correctly. Let's talk about the Blue Ranger. Her name is Edai. I believe I'm most probably going to mispronounce all these names. I'm most probably already mispronounced Marvi and Daza. I'm just going off how I think they're pronounced. So Edai is our Blue Ranger. She is a darker skinned girl. She kind of follows Marvi's design, except for her hair is slightly different. Then we have Kali? I believe that's how you say it. She's our Pink Ranger. She's also got tan skin, and her hair is like a grey colour, which is kind of cool. Of course, these kids come from KO35, so they don't have to exactly follow human exact anatomy. I know they are humans, or a branch of humans, but that could be her natural hair colour. If that is, that's kind of cool. Then we have, Yizu? I think that's how you pronounce it, and this is really cool because it's a girl and it's our Black Ranger for in space. That's right, we actually have an in-space black female ranger, which is really cool because in the show, Black Rangers are another Rangers that are most dominantly male. We don't ever get rid of female Black Ranger, so that's absolutely awesome. She's our blonde in the team, of course, because most Rangers have a blonde, and she's our blonde. But then we go to the Yellow Ranger, who's the only other male, and his name is Naro. Naro? I think, again, that's how you pronounce it. Which I think is really, really cool. Now, one thing we do know is Idai and Naro are siblings. They're actually brother and sister. That is stated on the Power Ranger Wikipedia page. Anyway, whether that's actually 100% confirmed by the people behind the comic book, who knows? I'm just going off that. Then, of course, you have Zane as the Silver Ranger and Andros as the Red Ranger. So that is our team of 6, with Marvy and Daza kind of acting as the mentors. Now, when it comes to the actual team themselves, we don't really get to see a lot with them. We see them eating together in their morphed suits just without the helmets, and they're bantering and stuff, which is great. We also get to see some action with Zane being a ranger whilst Andros is off, protecting people, fighting the good fight. But yeah, I don't... This is where things get a little basic, because that's pretty much it. You see, when it comes to the comic book, we see the initiation for Zane becoming the in-space Silver Ranger, and Zane says, I want Andros to be my right-hand man, I want him to be the Red Ranger, and Andros says, nope, I'm not gonna do it, I'd rather look for Corone, and he storms off. And the entire comic book is monologued by a future Andros who's just lost Zane. Zane has just been put in a comatose state. And this is kind of takes place, not long before In Space happens. So when we do get to the pages that show off the team, we literally get this one real cool panel with the 5 Rangers minus Andros, with some really creepily designed Marvy and Daza, might I add. They look horrific, like Joker level horrific, with a really oddly drawn Andros. And then we cut to this scene that I mentioned where they're all chatting and they're all eating food. There's no dialogue between them whatsoever, because the entire thing is kind of like narrated by Andros's like future subconscious or something. He's basically explaining how things went and why he thinks he failed, with a very upset Zane that Andros isn't sat with him. Then we cut to this side-by-side panel where, Andros is training, looking for Corone, and then we have Zane kicking butt and saving the day and stuff, and then we jump straight into the action for the third act of the comic book. So that's it. That's actually all we know, is their names and colours, which is really, really, really bad. I don't understand why, this was meant to be a prequel, but I wish we got another one at least. Give us some adventures with Zane and his team when Andros isn't around. We know there's some form of time gap. We don't know how big exactly, but we know there's a form of time gap because we see Andros training and we see Zane saving the day, being a Power Ranger. I don't know how to word it. That's the biggest problem here. That's all we know. I've literally just given you all the information we know, except for the Wikipedia pages, which I guess do give more information, like Idai, Naro, apparently a brother and sister, but that could be loose, and that could be someone else adding onto it. That could be very, extended fanfictional lore that someone might have added. We don't know. We have no idea. And that's the problem. We have a prequel to Andros, but I'd love a prequel for Zane. Give Zane his own comic book, which also kind of counters what Zane says in the TV show, because in Power Rangers in Space, when Zane wakes up, he states he's never seen a female ranger before.
That's called shaking hands. That's a greeting.
I knew that.
Just never met a female Power Ranger before. It's nice to meet you.
Because, of course, he now has a pink and a yellow female ranger. But in this comic book, his team are mostly girls. There's literally, if you take away Andros, there's only one other male there, being Naro. Which means there's 3 girls, which is more than what a normal Power Ranger team has anyway, if you don't count 6 rangers. So, that kind of contradicts what Zane says in Power Rangers in Space, the TV show. Anyway, that's this video done. I just thought I'd talk about the fact that we have literally seen Andros' team, but we know nothing about them, and it's a bit of a shame. Let me know what you guys think. Would you want a Zane prequel? A way to, explore Zane's origins, a bit more, and also give us some action with the original team of In Space Rangers. And this is the thing as well, later down the line, we don't ever see the Rangers in action. Not properly, anyway. Like, they fight, Zane and Andros fight, sure. And we do see them in action against Dark Spectre, but there's no action. It's just a still image of, you know, the Rangers holding their weapons or in mid-fight or something. And apparently they all died, or they all got defeated by Dark Spectre, because apparently he invades. And it's just like, okay, but where are they? What happened? The image that I've just shown is literally the only air quote fight scene we see, and it's not even a fight scene, it's just a still image of everyone in a pose with Dark Spectre looming in the background. What the hell happened? Give us a Zane prequel. I want to know what you guys think about that. Give us a Zane prequel, show us a bit more of Zane's backstory, and really focus on that time period where Andros was away training and trying to find Corone, and Zane was the leader of the team. And then maybe actually show off the final fight with Dark Spectre and have his comic book end with him getting attacked. Kind of give us a counter argument, or a counter side, the opposite side of the coin to Andros' one. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. I'm going to stop rambling now. Do let me know what you guys think about Andros' original team. And of course, do let me know, because via this comic book, we have 3 sets of In Space Rangers. Because Marvy and Daza do have an actual team. And then we have Andros' and Zane's team. And then we have Andros' team. Which is very confusing. So do let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell if you want more comic book videos like this, where I pick a topic and dive into stuff like that. And of course, if there's anything else in Power Ranger comics you want me to dive into, do let me know. And of course, if you guys want to hear the audio drama version of this comic book, then do check out Geeks Through Comics, which is one of my other YouTube channels. I'll leave a link in the description for this particular comic book. I've adapted this comic book into an audio drama so you can hear the story instead of reading it, just in case you guys can't get your hands on the comic book. And one thing I must know, I'm really proud of the way that I actually edit it together, because a lot of this comic book is Andros' narration subconsciously, but from the future point of view, and you're looking back on events. So the way I edit it together is really well done. So go check out Geeks Through Comics. Like I said, I'll link the actual audio drama adaptation to Countdown to Ruin in the description, so do check that out as well. With that being said, I love you all, and of course, I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye.